Hey everybody, welcome back to the Apple and Orange Line Off the Rails series and to another exciting video. Today we're on location in Yakima, Washington, just about 2 hours from downtown Seattle. I'm at Sarg Hubbard Park, part of the Yakima Greenway. I'm located just about a half a mile off Interstate 82 at the Yakima Avenue exit. Right behind me is a very special exhibit. It's one that a lot of people don't know about, a lot of rail enthusiasts don't know about. And a lot of the local citizens here have never heard of this. And it's right here in the middle of this beautiful, large park right along the Yakima River, just about a half a mile from downtown Yakima. And what I'm talking about is right here. Right behind me is the Merci Train. After World War II, the Merci Train was a gift from the people of France to the people of the United States of America for their help in saving their country during World War II. After World War II, sending them donations of food and clothing and essential supplies. France sent rail cars to the United States, one for each state. Some of the cars have been lost to fire or other destruction from the elements and not being cared for. This car has been moved a few times, but it's enclosed in this large cage, thankfully. So France sent these rail cars over to the United States, one for each state, and each one is decorated a little bit differently. They're all pretty similar. It was a really cool project and a really neat gift from one nation to another, thanking the United States for the help that we gave the French during and after World War II. And I'm really honored that this is displayed in my hometown and that it's protected. And it's lasted all of these years. In October 1947, American journalist Drew Pearson asked the American people to donate food for the French and Italians. 5 weeks later, the Friendship Train began its journey across America, starting in Los Angeles, with a goal of collecting 80 boxcars of food. By the time it reached New York Harbor 11 days later, there were over 700 boxcars loaded with food, clothing, and fuel worth over $40 million. As a gift of appreciation, France sent 49 of these Merci Train boxcars to the United States, one for each state, with the territory of Hawaii and Washington, D.C. sharing a car. The cars were filled with gifts and letters from a grateful French people. The boxcars were a gesture of thanks for the food, medicine, and supplies the American people had sent to France and Italy shortly after World War II ended. This 40-and-8 boxcar was part of the French Merci Train, which arrived in New York Harbor on February 2nd, 1949. The boxcars were used by France during World War I and to some extent World War II to carry 40 men or 8 horses to or from the battlefronts. Many American soldiers rode in these train cars for days. For many, it was their last journey. Originally displayed in Fircrest in western Washington, the Washington State Merci Train car was moved to Sarg Hubbard Park along the Yakima River Greenway, located in Yakima, Washington, central Washington. The 40-and-8 boxcar from the French Merci Train was presented to Washington State in 1949 from the citizens of France as an expression of gratitude for food, fuel, and clothing donated to the needy people in war-ravaged France and Italy following World War II. Located just about 2 hours from downtown Seattle, just off of Interstate 82 at the Yakima Avenue exit, Sarg Hubbard Park is a community park owned by the Yakima Greenway Foundation and named for Ralph Sarg Hubbard, a local businessman, philanthropist, and community service volunteer. On a personal note, Sarg Hubbard was a family friend and a member of the Army Air Corps during World War II. In addition to missions flying the Hump, Sarg Hubbard was also responsible for espionage and counter-espionage activities, which he described as cloak and dagger work. After World War II, Hubbard, now a major, entered the Air Force Reserves, commanding a squadron which was named the Outstanding Air Reserve Squadron in the nation in 1958. He retired from the reserves in 1969 at the rank of colonel. After coming back from the Pacific, Hubbard gained his nickname and started a business. He didn't think people would believe he was an officer, so he just said he was a mess hall sergeant in the military. Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning into this special episode of the Apple and Orange Line, and for a look at the Washington State Merci Train, which was a gift from France after World War II for the help that the United States offered to the people of France in saving their country and helping the people after World War II. So a little bonus footage here. Right next to the Merci Train is a very special memorial. It's a war memorial for the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the war on terrorism. I don't know if how well you'll be able to see it here, but it's just right next to the Merci Train. Right here, there's a wall, memorial wall, and then the war on terrorism memorial is right here. It's very sadly, this memorial was located in downtown Yakima a number of years ago, and it was stolen. And it was found, can't remember, I think it was found in a dumpster. Some people, they had it in the back of a truck while they were robbing, breaking into the coin boxes at a local car wash, stealing money, stealing change out of the car wash. And then with surveillance video from that crime, I believe they saw this in the back of a pickup truck, and they were able to track down the people and get this back and relocate it to this location and better secure it and better they refurbished it and redid it. But that was just a year or two after it had first been installed. And right up here is Old Glory. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Apple and Orange Line Off the Rails series about the Washington State Merci Train 40 and 8 boxcar displayed in Yakima, Washington. If you like this content, please consider hitting like and subscribing so you'll see more similar videos from the Apple and Orange Line. I welcome your comments and thank you again for tuning in to this Off the Rails episode of the Apple and Orange Line.